How's it going, everybody? Marvel Cross 316 back with another comic book flashback. Today we are looking at the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 61. This issue came out in June in 1968. And as we look on the cover, we have Spider-Man, and he looks like he is saving Captain Stacy and Gwen Stacy from mere death. Yeah, that's right. This is the first cover appearance of Gwen Stacy and Captain Stacy. So I just wanted to throw that out to y'all today, that this is the first cover appearance of Gwen Stacy and Captain Stacy. And so we have just a great story for y'all today. I hope you don't click away, because we are continuing this whole storyline with the Kingpin and this brainwashing machine. And we're going to end the story today and see the big conclusion as to what happens here in this story. So before we get started, go ahead and give this video a like and also subscribe if you have not. And so let's go ahead and get started. Today's title is What a Tangled Web We Weave. And as we look on the splash page, we can just see all the problems, all the thoughts going on in Peter Parker's head. There's a lot of things going on right here in this story. And so, as always, this is also brought to you by Stan the Man Lee, who wrote this issue. We have John Romita doing the penciling. We have Don Heck doing the inking. And we also have Mickey DeMeo as well contributing with the inking. And also we have Sam Rosen doing the lettering page. So let's go ahead and get started with this story today. And we just have not Spider-Man, but we also Peter Parker. That's the main figure we're looking at here. He hasn't turned into Spider-Man yet. Hasn't changed to Spider-Man, rather. But he's thinking about his predicament with Captain Stacy. He's thinking about how can Gwen Stacy ever forgive me for what I've done to them? I had to, give those photos to J. Jonah Jameson that is pretty incriminating. It's exposing Captain Stacy basically of rifling through the police files at the police headquarters. And so he was caught last issue. And we also have Gwen Stacy, who is the daughter of Captain Stacy, confronting her father about it. And we see that he is going to reveal to his daughter that yes, he was rifling through the files at the police headquarters, but he had to obey orders. And he couldn't disobey orders. And she's like, "What are you talking about? What kind of orders are you talking about? Who is ordering you around?" And Captain Stacy says, "I can't, and I don't really remember who gave me these orders, but I have to obey." And so Gwen Stacy and Captain Stacy come to the conclusion that they have to get out of town. They're going to have to go, undercover here. They're going to have to just get out of the public view for a while, because Captain Stacy is wanted by the police. And so we have Gwen Stacy. She's going to stick by her father, and they're going to leave town. And we have Peter Parker here. He tries to phone them, but of course they've already left at this point. So here we go. We finally see Peter Parker. He changes to Spider-Man, and he's going to swing by the Stacy residence to see if they're there. And as he comes to the place, he sees just a bunch of Kingpin's muscle men get out of a car, and they're going to go into Captain Stacy's house. But of course, Captain Stacy and his daughter have already left. So then we have Spider-Man. He takes down the Kingpin's men, the ones that are after Captain Stacy. And we just have a great fight scene here, drawn by Don Heck and also John Romita here. Just awesome artwork by both men here. I have to say, just awesome stuff here. Awesome fight scenes once again. And Spider-Man easily takes down these men right here. And he's after, some questions here. He wants some answers as to where Captain Stacy is and what the heck is going on with this whole brainwashing scheme. And so Spider-Man, he tries to web up this guy, and he tries to get some answers out. But of course, this guy has also been brainwashed by the Kingpin as well. So now we change scenes here, and we have Harry Osborn and Mary Jane. And we know that Mary Jane has been working at this dancing place here. It's called the Gloom Room A Go Go, and she's been a dancer there. And so she's asking Harry if she can ride her all the way to the place where she's been dancing at so that she can collect her paycheck. So when they get there, they notice that the place has been closed. And that's pretty odd as to how, that place was open and there's a lot of business going on, but now that place has been completely closed. And so now Mary Jane's wondering how she is going to get her paycheck, and that's basically going to add to the story as we go on throughout the story. You'll see exactly why the importance of this place being closed is important to the story. So we continue here, and we have Norman Osborn, who is the father of Harry Osborn, and he's looking into this newspaper, and there's going to be a special on Channel 23 about the legend of the Green Goblin. And if you have been keeping up with my reviews of this series, we know that Norman Osborn is the Green Goblin, but he lost his memory of being the Green Goblin in issue number 40. And so he gets a phone call by this man named Mr. Winkler, and he notices that a bunch of electronic equipment has been delivered to his research lab, to his Oscorp Industries. And if you notice who this guy is, you'll notice that he works for the Kingpin. This guy works for the Kingpin, but of course Norman Osborn does not know this. And so from behind the scenes, we have the Kingpin hiding out in Mr. Winkler's lab here. And this is where they're going to store all the brainwashing equipment. It's because, of course, we have Mr. Winkler, who is working for Norman Osborn, but he's doing this whole undercover thing where he's also working for the Kingpin. And this is where the Kingpin is going to set up operations here, unbeknownst of Norman Osborn. And so we have Kingpin here giving orders to his henchmen that they need to go after Captain Stacy and Peter Parker. Both men need to die, but most importantly, Spider-Man needs to die as well, who has been a thorn in Kingpin's side for so long. We notice that Mr. Winkler here, he has a device here that will hone on the people that have been brainwashed here, so that will allow these men to track down Captain Stacy. We have Harry Osborn here. He visits his dad, and his dad reveals to him that he's been not feeling good as of late, and it's all started when he saw that newspaper ad of the Green Goblin. So that's one thing we have to worry about. Will Norman Osborn ever regain his memory of being the Green Goblin? Hopefully not too soon or ever, but you just can't be sure, as we know that the Green Goblin will soon return soon. We just don't know when. And so that's one thing we'll have to worry about in future issues, is whether the Norman Osborn will be able to regain his memory of being the Green Goblin. And so now we continue with the story here. We have Peter Parker. He designs this gas mask that will help him fight Kingpin, as the Kingpin has used his tie to basically allow gas to come into the air, and that's knocked out Spider-Man and caused Spider-Man a lot of problems in the past. Spider-Man swings by the Daily Bugle to see if anything's been heard about Captain Stacy. Of course, J. Jonah Jameson has nothing to say. We have Kingpin's henchmen here. They come to the airport here. They've finally tracked down Captain Stacy. They take both Captain Stacy and Gwen Stacy hostage here, and they're going to go to Norman Osborn's facility here. We have Spider-Man. He comes to the Gloom A Go Go here, the room A Go Go, and he notices that the place has been shut down. He tries to find any clues as to what's been going on, and he notices that there is this piece of equipment here that shows that it came from Osborn's laboratories. So that's where Spider-Man is going to go. And so that is where we'll see the final fight, the final scene here, as Spider-Man is going to try to stop the Kingpin, who he doesn't even know that the Kingpin's there. He doesn't even know that the Kingpin is there, so he's going to go to Osborn's Industries to see if he can find any clues here. Norman Osborn notices that there's a light in Mr. Winkler's lab, and so Norman Osborn is going to investigate what is going on, why is he staying so long. Spider-Man crashes into the scene. He sees that Gwen Stacy and her father have been taken hostage here, and Spider-Man is going to fight the Kingpin. We have another great fight scene with Spider-Man and the Kingpin. Kingpin again tries to use that gas that comes from his tie, but this time it does not work, and it takes the Kingpin by surprise here. And so the Kingpin, he tries to fight Spider-Man, and Spider-Man finally is able to defeat the Kingpin here. As the Kingpin is laying on the ground, Norman Osborn notices that Mr. Winkler has a gun in his hand, and he's about to shoot both Captain Stacy and his daughter. We have Norman Osborn. He bravely tackles Mr. Winkler. The gun goes off. It basically causes the brainwashing machine to explode, killing Mr. Winkler. And now we have this huge vat of chemicals, and it's about to fall on top of Captain Stacy and Gwen Stacy. Spider-Man luckily swings in time, gets both Captain Stacy and Gwen Stacy from being killed by that huge vat. And we see that as the smoke clears, Norman Osborn tells Spider-Man that the Kingpin has gotten away in his private helicopter. So Spider-Man will try to track down the Kingpin for another time. As the police come, they pretty much hear the report from Norman Osborn, as Norman Osborn allows the police to know that Captain Stacy has been exonerated. He's no longer basically guilty for what he's done, as now we find out that Captain Stacy was under the influence of the Kingpin. And so that's good for Captain Stacy. It seems that all the charges have been dropped. And also it helps that Gwen Stacy mentions that Spider-Man helped as well to save both her and her dad, as we saw that Spider-Man and Norman Osborn worked together to save Captain Stacy and Gwen. And so that's how we end this story here. I hope you liked it. And next time we're going to see Spider-Man go up against Medusa. We'll see who Medusa is and exactly how she plays into next issue. I hope to see you next time. And until next time, keep reading comics.